Boom! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Friday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brewery that I've never had a beer from them before. I'm completely honest with you guys. I've not really heard of these guys before, even though they're the state over for me, so I'm pretty excited to give this one a try. These guys are Windmill Brewing Company out of Dyer, Indiana, and today we're going to be looking at their Mema Colada Imperial Milkshake IPA, and I'm a big fan of IPAs, of course, and definitely a big fan of milkshake IPAs. I love the addition of lactose and then adding usually fruit puree or anything like that stuff or any kind of flavorings in there to kind of give your normal kind of IPA a little bit of a different twist, a little bit more sweeter, having some more like desserty, maybe some fruitier kind of notes with it. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty solid one. I'm a big fan of pina coladas. My only gripe with pina coladas is I'm not the craziest fan of coconut. I mean, I do enjoy coconut, but not if it's overpowering. I'm a huge fan of pineapple, so I'm curious what the kind of pina colada flavors are going to be in this one, if it's going to be more predominantly coconut, or if it's going to be more kind of that pineapple situation. It doesn't look like they let you know what kind of hops they brewed with this one, which I'm really curious. Maybe, I want to say they didn't use too much hops for bittering. Maybe there's just some lighter notes, of course, with the hops during, like possibly if they're dry hopped or later in the boil. They most likely did some hops in there to more complement tropical fruit flavors, so you can maybe possibly think maybe citrus in there, mosaic, and something like that, just to kind of give some more tropical fruit notes to kind of help enhance those like pina colada flavors a little bit. So I'm pretty excited to drink this one. It comes out to a 9% ABV, if I remember correctly. Where does it say on here? It doesn't even say on the can. I do not think it does. But 9% ABV, of course, I would not consider this beer sessionable. This was definitely one that you're going to have maybe one or two, and you're definitely going to start feeling it after that. So I'm always a really big fan of Imperial IPAs, as you guys know, so I'm really curious to see what this thing's all about. So let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose. Let's see. A lot lighter on the pina colada notes than I thought. I'm hoping that doesn't give me like a sunscreen kind of vibe. That's always something I'm a little bit afraid of when people do like pina colada kind of things. But definitely starting to get a lot of pineapple. I'm curious if they actually use possible pineapple juice, pineapple puree, or maybe they just took sliced pineapple and threw it in there to kind of let it sit in there a little bit. But yeah, definitely getting a very predominant pineapple note coming through on the nose. Not really getting any like hoppiness at all. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this one's going to be. So, of course, I'm going to be drinking this out of my Black Horizon Brewing Company glass this afternoon, and let's pour this guy and see what it's all about. Definitely has more of a little bit more of a carbonated effervescence to it. Not really crazy on the head. But yeah, has a, I wouldn't say this is a hazy IPA, but definitely is like a little bit of a murkiness going there. It makes me let me know that they probably didn't add any finding agents in there while it was. But overall, Taxman is a new beer. I'm curious to see how that one is. Taxman makes some great beers, so I'm curious how that one is. But yeah, overall, that has a nice color to it. Definitely almost reminds me of like the color of like a Berliner Weiss, especially with the carbonation going through it. Still getting a lot of that pineapple coming through. Not really getting much coconut, so I'm curious if the coconut's more going to be on when you're tasting it on your tongue and all that kind of stuff and on the palate. But yeah, this is definitely a lot more effervescent. So I'm maybe thinking this might be not as creamy, even though milkshake IPAs definitely help add that creamy mouthfeel. But who knows, I might be wrong. But let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Okay. So right off the bat, this one definitely is a strong one. Let me tell you right off the bat. There's definitely some hop additions. I definitely get more of like your kind of slightly bitter hops coming through. Not really crazy on the bitterness. But overall, this is letting me know that maybe they did some early hop additions during the boil, possibly maybe a first word or anything like that. Yeah, that's a milkshake IPA. So definitely have almost like, I'm trying to think the kind of hoppiness I'm getting. It's a little bit of grassy, a little bit of situation like that, stuff that you would normally accompany to like your American IPAs or West Coast IPAs. Definitely has effervescence to it. There's definitely a booziness to this one, even though it's a 9%. So overall, pineapple notes in this one are not bad. Not bad at all. The coconut I'm getting, I would say that now that I taste it, I'm actually getting a lot more of the coconut than I expected. So I don't know if that's just something that I kind of wanted a little bit more pineapple, but overall the flavors in this one aren't bad. It's just maybe they would have just a little bit different on the kind of pina colada additions when it comes to possibly a little bit more pineapple and a little bit less coconut for me. But overall, this is still a pretty nice milkshake IPA. Definitely, I was worried at first with how carbonated it was and how much effervescence there was going through it, that it wasn't going to have that kind of creamier mouthfeel. But now that I've tried it, it definitely sticks to that milkshake IPA creamy mouthfeel kind of situation with the addition of lactose. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all. So, looking here at Untappd, I'm taking a look at this beer specifically is a similar beer page, and sure, you got a milkshake IPA here from Tired Hands that they're showing as a similar beer, but they did not really telling you what kind of milkshakey kind of situation. Makes me think of tropical fruit just because you see double dry hop with Australian Galaxy. Of course, Galaxy hops is an Australian hops to begin with. Other than that, similar beers with list for this one. I don't know how I feel about it. Let's look. You got one from Hoof-Hearted Brewing called the Double Footed Clipboard with extra pineapple puree added. I don't know if I consider this one similar, even though they do have the addition of pineapple in this one. I love the addition of pineapple in like an IPA. Of course, you can even add pineapple to a hazy IPA to help give it that more of a haze, or of course without adding clearing agents as well, that'll get you your haze in an IPA as well. But Hoof-Hearted is located in, they're in Marengo, Ohio. What else we got here? We got the Herd Chef from Derive Brewing Company, which this is a double milkshake 8.2 featuring Vista and Nectaron hops. And the fruit puree. Oh, that's interesting. So it looks like the hops they added to this one are mainly bittering hops. Of course, Nectaron is specifically an aroma hop. It's not really used for dry hopping or anything like that. So, and it tells you they added about 150 pounds of fruit puree in this one, including most likely, if it's giving aromas of pineapple, passion fruit, orange, tangerine, apricot, and ripe banana. What would they have used for the puree? But probably I would say they added pineapple for the puree, most likely maybe a passion fruit, even though that has a little bit of a tartness to it. But yeah, with the hops, they definitely looks like they used a lot of different hops. Of course, Nectaron is known for having really, really strong fruity aromas. So that actually sounds like a pretty solid one, the Herd Chef one. Then we got one here called Big Energy from Mountain Culture Beer Co., which, let's see. Okay, so of course, they used to help with the creamy mouthfeel, of course, with the additional lactose. You can add your flaked oat and flaked wheat to kind of help with mouthfeel, so that helps when it comes to making a milkshake IPA as well. Doesn't really give me much of an idea what's going on with this guy when it comes to how it's tasting and how, with freshly squeezed, so it makes me think that there's orange in there somehow. And then this is the Tired Hands one with Double Galaxy that I looked at already. But let's look here at my beer history. Of course, that similar beers list is okay, but I think I'd probably find something better on my beer history looking at this one. So if you have your profile in it, you can go to your beer history and all that stuff, and then you can filter by different styles and all that stuff. So this one is considered an Imperial Double Milkshake on Untappd. So we're going to go under IPA Imperial Double Milkshake. I've had a total of 9 with this kind of style. So let's see what we got here. We got where we can find something that's similar. Possibly this Pina Colada IPA from WeldWorks might be something similar. Let's see. Foreign Exchange makes one called the Narragansett Sunrise. Opaque Thoughts, of course, Mountains Walking makes a lot of milkshake IPAs. Their Opaque Thoughts line is specifically milkshake IPAs. I believe More Brewing Company makes their double marbles. I believe they most likely had like a Pina Colada double marbles kind of situation. I know I had over Thanksgiving. I had the blood orange double marbles, which was actually pretty delicious. But other breweries that make double milkshake IPAs, you got Casita, but that was like a double iced latte IPA. That was a very interesting beer. Black and Gray Brewing Company with the Cruel Summer. Of course, Brewdog USA is the Pulp Patriot line, which is their milkshake IPA situation. Three Floyds with the Apocalypse Cow. That's one of their milkshake IPAs. Wild Leap with the Truck Chaser Lemon Ice. And then, of course, the Foreign Exchange one that I listed already. So out of this one, during my beer history, I'm probably to be the most similar when it comes to ABV and of course being almost exactly describing the same profile. I'm most likely going to pick the WeldWerks Pina Colada IPA to be the most similar to this one. It's the exact same ABV, and so 9%, with this being a 9% as well, that's probably going to be the one I'm going to choose to be the most similar to this one for sure. So if you're over by WeldWerks, you possibly can get your hands on the Pina Colada IPA. Oh, so it doesn't... okay. That I know, that definitely does suck. I wish they kind of updated the mobile app version of Untappd, just because... So, Windmill Brewing Company is out of Dyer, Indiana, Mustang. So if you want to possibly pick up stuff from them right now, they don't have this one specifically on tap, but they have a couple other Milkshake IPAs available right now. So they got the Orange Memesicle, which has the addition of creamsicle gummies. And then the one that I would probably say they have on tap right now that would be the most similar to this one is probably their Memes and Screams with pineapple gummy bears. 8%, a little bit less of an ABV, but it's that double milkshake style IPA that you're looking for. So most likely, if you go over to Windmill right now, that's some of the stuff you can get on tap. Of course, looking for what's available to go if you just want to go over there and pick something up. Of course, they got the Orange Memesicle there. It doesn't look like they have the Memes and Screams, but if you want to go over there have a beer, you have a couple different milkshake IPAs to choose from if you just wanted to make a stop over at Windmill. I don't know where Dyer, Indiana is compared with in the state, but overall, yeah, tap list looks pretty damn good on this one. But let's see here. Let's look back at Untappd and let's see what they show a description for this one on the specific page. So what Untappd shows for a description for this beer specifically is a Pina Colada inspired milkshake IPA brewed with vanilla, lactose, pineapple, and coconut. Yeah, self-explanatory. I really wish that they would have listed the hops they used in this one because I'm definitely really curious. But looking here, I don't think there's anybody on my friends list who checked this one in because I specifically didn't get one of these for my father because he's not a big coconut guy. So when everything like Pina Colada or related situations like that, most likely didn't get one for him with this one because it doesn't show like he checked this one in. Doesn't show anybody on my friends list who checked this one in as well. So this is only me with this guy. So, but looking here, like I stated before, it's a 9% ABV, which, like I stated, I would not consider this sessionable. You guys know by now my sessionability rating kind of cuts off at 7.5. So this is definitely going to be something to where after maybe one or two of these, you might be feeling a little bit of something. I don't know if it's like you're going to be getting a buzz, but you're definitely going to be feeling a little bit of something. And with only 493 ratings on this guy, this one has an average rating of 3.92 out of 5, which is not bad at all. But let's see what other people are saying about this guy. So let's see here. This person gave it a 4.25, saying, as usual, a year ago, Ops guy rated this higher than Mudhog. I have no idea what. So this guy has two bearded guys. Maybe they just drank a little bit late. I'm not sure. What else do we got here? This person gave it a 3.5. He drank it at the Waterside Crossing subdivision, which is a housing development. Oh, maybe it's their home check-in kind of situation in Crown Point, Indiana. Let's see, we got a 4 out of 5. Purchased at the Silver Shells Beach Resort and Spa. So I wonder if they just maybe were at a resort and they brought that to that resort. Where is that located? In Florida. So Destin, Florida is where they drank that one, which Florida definitely seems like a great spot to drink a Pina Colada milkshake IPA. This person gave it a 3.75, saying tropical Pina Colada notes. Nicely done. Yeah, definitely can see why it's like that. Okay, this person gave it a 4 out of 5. Purchased from Tavor, which is how I got mine. This person gave it a 4.25. Okay, this person's has one that gave it a 2.25, saying ew, like drinking rotten tanning lotion. I wouldn't go that far with this one, but he purchased it at the Indie Craft Brew Tap Room, which is in Muncie, Indiana. I wouldn't go that far. Maybe he's just not a fan of Pina Colada beers, but I wouldn't say it's to the point where it's like drinking rotten tanning lotion. Let's see, we got a 2.5 here, 3.75, saying interesting and smooth coconut flavor, great pool beer. Yeah, I would definitely agree. Let's see, we got a 4 out of 5 here, purchased from Tavor. And then let's do two more. Then we got a 4.25 here, purchased at the Indie Craft Brew and Tap Room, which looks like it's a location that you can most likely find Windmill beers. So if you're around Indianapolis, okay, so or Muncie, Indiana, if you're near the Indie Craft Brew and Tap Room, which is like a beer bar, most likely like a craft beer bottle shop situation, you may be able to find some different Windmill beers over there as well. And he gave it a 4.25, so it's saying Windmill strikes again. So you must have really enjoyed this one. And the last one we're going to look at here is purchased from the same location, and this person gave it a 4 out of 5. So overall, pretty decent ratings on this one. Oh, we have another new place that somebody checked this one in. So if you're looking for another place to pick this one up, there's a place in Brownsburg, Indiana called Books and Brews. You may be able to find some Windmill stuff. We'll see if there's any other locations that they're talking about. I don't think there is. But overall, yeah, not bad ratings. Somebody actually said they have like overripe pineapple notes in this one, which overripe pineapple, definitely, I'm going to say, to me, an overripe pineapple flavor is like an unpleasant kind of pineapple. But if you're looking for like that just really nice like ripe pineapple flavor, that's like using pineapple puree most likely, or you can even use concentrates to flavor it that way. But with all that being said, let's start trying to figure out. Oh yeah, I got to figure out when that review is. I'll probably hit sometime this weekend, Lee, most likely. I have no idea if the kind of thing I wanted to do with this one is going to happen, but who knows? I'll most likely do a review for it sometime this weekend. But yeah, if you're able to, Boss Mustang, if you're able to kind of pick out some other stuff when it comes to finding a liquor store or bottle shop near you, if there's anything that they carry from Windmill, you might have a good option to pick up one of their Milkshake IPAs. Like I said, they have that the orange creamsicle one right there that maybe you can find at a liquor store or bottle shop near you. Who knows? But overall, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing with this guy on our end for ratings. So let me pour a little bit more. If I can pour the rest of it, yes I can. Take a little drink because it's pretty good. And the first thing we're going to look at here is can art. And I do really enjoy this can art. It almost kind of reminds me of those old-fashioned like paper cutting boards with kind of the check, like the squares on there. It almost reminds me of the flat board that like you have the giant blade to cut paper with. I don't know why I get that kind of vibes with it, but then it brings off a lot of like almost 80s like Saved by the Bell kind of thing, colors and shit. So you have like all multiple colors. I like the Windmill logo in the background. The Windmill Brewing is a very nice clean logo. I like the font they did with this one. So when it comes to using a bunch of colors and just kind of putting a bunch of random stuff on there, yeah, I think they did enough to where it's something that's eye-catching. This is definitely something that would catch my attention at a liquor store or bottle shop just because all the crazy colors and all the different shapes and stuff. So yeah, this is definitely appealing enough for me to where it would catch my attention if I saw it. So I'd probably give this a very solid like 3.75 to a 4 out of 5 for can art. Really, really nice. And let's see here. Yeah, you possibly might be able to find something from Windmill over at Total Wine. Who knows? We don't really have Total Wine near me. Most likely, if I was gonna find something at like a more well-known liquor store or bottle shop, it most likely would be at a Benny's Beverage Depot near me. But you may have a Total Wine and More near you that may be able to carry some Windmill stuff. But let's see here. If I got this beer in a flight over at Windmill Brewing Company, would I get another one? I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong. Has enough of those pina colada flavors in there to let me know it's a pina colada beer. But I don't know if there's enough going on in here to make me want to have another one if I got it out of a 5-ounce pour. But I'll definitely still be able to finish this. But yeah, there's probably not enough going on in this one that I would be like, hey, I want to grab another one of these by themselves or grab a 4-pack. But overall, it's still pretty good. Just, I want to say it's not for me, but it's not the best Milkshake IPA I've had. It's still solid, don't get me wrong, but I've had a lot better. So, let's see here. What is my final rating on this guy going to be? I am trying to think. Let's see here. To be honest, I'll probably give this maybe like a 6.75 to a 7 out of 10. I think that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. It's still good enough to have a full can of it, but I don't know if I'd go out of my way to have another one or just kind of search this for with this one again. But overall, I still think they did a not bad job. There are a couple things that I would change, of course, when it comes to the additions of the pina colada flavors. Of course, maybe a little bit more pineapple. You don't want that coconut to be overwhelming like it kind of is. And then possibly using different kind of hops on the, maybe use different hops for like specific aroma hops because it doesn't list what hops they use. So I don't know what kind of hops that when it comes to, because there's not really any crazy like hoppy aromas coming from it. So maybe put in the some aroma hops in there in the boil to kind of help with that, or possibly use some more less bittering hops, or probably use hops less in the boil. I don't know, but there's definitely like a grassy bitterness in there slightly, but it's only very, very subtle. But maybe like change up the hops a little bit with this one. But overall, it's still not bad. So for final rating, yeah, I think I'm going to give it towards that 6.75 to a 7 out of 10. Yeah, overall, if you're interested to pick this one up, I don't know if it's available right now, but of course, like I stated, you have a couple different Milkshake IPAs that Windmill Brewing Company has available right now. So if you want to go over to the brewery, get the pineapple one that's possibly similar to this, or if you had a liquor store or bottle shop that carries Windmill, you most likely be able to find that the memesicle guy. But other than that, let's see here. I think that is pretty much what I got for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you guys know whenever I go live, do another review. Got reviews planned all weekend for you guys, so you keep an eye out for those. Of course, keep an eye on my Instagram. That's where you can go to kind of see what I'm be reviewing, all that stuff. Of course, I have a bunch of other social media platforms with it. So shoot me a follow on Instagram. You'll see the hand checks of the beers I'm be reviewing that day. Plus, of course, you'll see behind the scenes stuff going on whenever I'm working at Fibs. I think we finally have a release date for when my beer is coming out. I'm super excited to kind of hear everybody's thoughts on it. We just put it in the bright tank yesterday, so it's in the middle of being carved right now, and I'm super excited about this one. It's, to me, having my first beer and my first recipe come out at a brewery is kind of just, I wanted it to be a perfect kind of situation. I was looking for a style of beer that I don't see really many breweries coming out with, so I decided to go with a quad IPA, and I just wanted to, how do I say this? Like, there's a bunch of different styles that I want to make with my own recipes and all that kind of stuff, but I took a style of beer that I never really kind of just see a lot coming out with a quad IPA, and makes me think of different stronger IPAs within this. Of course, I think of the 90 and 120 minute IPA from Dogfish Head. So I'm like, I want to know if I can make something like this with that alcoholic punch with some more of tropical fruit and citrus kind of forward aromas / flavors, and I think that's what we were able to do with this one. So this thing's going to come out to a 12.8% quadruple IPA. That's going to be releasing at Fibs Brewing Company on December 16th, if I remember correctly. So if anybody is in the Illinois area on the 16th, which is 2 weeks from today, you will be able to try my first beer I'm releasing, which I'm super excited because this thing is going to have a little bit of some bite and punch, and just overall, I think it's going to hopefully do really, really well. It's definitely for a Nick kind of crowd, but I'm super excited to see what people's thoughts are, because this has been a couple months in the making, and been trying to figure out what kind of recipe I want to use, what kind of hops I want to use, but it's finally come together. We brewed it, we fermented it, all the dry hopping, and now it's just carbonating right now, and that's when we'll keg it. I think we're only doing probably 1/2 barrel plus maybe a sixel if we can fit the rest of it in there, but I'm super excited for what people think. So if you're in the Illinois area or the northwest suburbs on Friday, December 16th, come by Fibs. I'll be there talking to people. I won't be working behind the bar. I'll be walking around the brewery, asking people's thoughts, kind of promoting the beer a little bit. So I am super, super excited for that to finally happen. This is probably a really, really big moment for me that I'm nervous, but I'm also excited. So I'm hoping everything works out okay. But of course, I'll give you a little bit of surprises when it comes to possibly doing a giveaway for it. I don't know. Maybe I'll have enough to fill up a crowler and send it away on a giveaway or something. Who knows? But of course, you could always shoot me a follow on my like a friend request on my Untapped as well. I'll finally have my name on Untapped besides just the profile, because it's gonna be called the Poon Sauce Quad IPA. So of course, that'll be something funny for people to search into Untapped. But also, you can shoot me a friend request over there. I'd love to see what you guys are drinking as well. And Untapped is just a great platform. It's I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers, because that's pretty much what it is. You check in beers, you get badges, you do all that kind of stuff, and there's so many different features that Untapped provides when it comes to just little things that are just really, really cool. So if anybody that is on Untapped and just haven't explored the app, I highly recommend do so. And if you haven't shot me a friend request yet, shoot me a friend request on Untapped as well. I'd love to see what you guys are drinking. And finally, the best way that I always recommend helping support me and do what I do with more reviews, more beers coming out, and everything like that. Of course, to head over to the Patreon. I do monthly 4-pack giveaways of Illinois exclusive craft beer. Plus, maybe down the road, I'll be working on some other stuff with some other content creators when it comes to the craft beer world. And then, of course, doing some giveaways for that. And then possibly working with other breweries doing giveaways for some of their stuff, maybe new releases for other breweries. We'll just have to wait and see. But of course, down the road, once the Patreon starts getting a little busier, that's what I can work on, starting getting like merch, glassware, coasters, koozies out for you guys and have that available. So if you want to help support me and help me do what I do, the best way to do so is to get yourself over to the Patreon and just have a time. We have a small group of people over there, but it's a really, really good group of people. So I always recommend that to be the best way to help me do what I do. But other than that, I think that is pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you again, everybody in chat, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody who's been watching the replay as well. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.